Marriage is hard. I know that from personal experience and from working with men, women, and couples for more than 2 decades. We don't realize that life always presents us with challenges. Many of them come at us unannounced and unwanted. You either figure it out or you wither on the vine. Life throws you into a lake and you freak out. If you don't learn to swim, you sink. When you decide to marry, you invited new challenges into your life. And that's a good thing because you were the one to initiate and accept the challenges. You just didn't know how challenging your life was about to become. Living in close quarters with someone you don't understand will do that to you. If you're lucky, you had a good role model. You learned by observation. Good role models were open about their joys and their frustrations, but they also had good boundaries. You saw and heard just enough to know how to respond well to one another. You observed friction without drama, collaboration instead of manipulation. But many of us did not have that advantage. My parents were divorced before I turned 3 years old, and I didn't see my dad again until I was 40. I never had the opportunity to observe a husband and a wife in my own home. My first set of in-laws never argued or had disagreements in front of their kids. As far as anyone knew, things were good. Imagine the shock when they suddenly divorced. The fire of their frustrations with one another showed up dramatically, and my 18-year-old husband got caught in the middle. He was devastated. Yes, you heard that right. We were 18 when we married. Neither of us had a good role model. Our marriage lasted 16 years, but we avoided the challenges just as our parents had done, and we divorced just as our parents had done. I've worked with couples whose parents had fought constantly and sometimes violently. Some of their parents struggled with addictions, others with adultery or abandonment. They clearly didn't have good role models either, and marriage was a constant struggle for them. They didn't know how to handle the challenges that come with being married to someone they didn't understand, that is, a member of the opposite sex. That's when they encounter the first reason their marriage isn't getting any better: self-protection. When we encounter a challenge or something we don't understand, we immediately protect ourselves from it. That response is hardwired into your brain and into your mate's brain, even into my brain. None of us would survive without the automatic ability to self-protect. At some point, however, you need to evaluate the situation to determine what it really is. You won't be able to do that until you feel safe, physically and emotionally. As long as you see the challenge as dangerous to your well-being, you'll stay in self-protection mode. Now, if your situation is truly dangerous, you need to protect yourself. But what if you're not really in danger? What if you simply don't understand one another? If that's the case, you can learn to let down your guard on purpose, because your usual reactions to protect yourself not only keep out the bad, but it also keeps out the good. Imagine a puppy that's been abused and dumped somewhere. He's skin and bones. You see him and you want to help. You bring him food, but he's learned that humans are dangerous. Therefore, he hides. He avoids you because he's afraid. If you approach him too soon or too quickly, he may bite you. He attacks you because he is afraid. He's moved to the aggressive stage of self-protection. Whether hiding or angry, he is defensive. He's trying to survive. Sadly, his defensiveness prevents him learning new information. He isn't open to the possibility that sometimes humans can be good for you. Some of them bring you food and give you a safe place to be. When you marry, you encounter something you don't understand: intimate life with a member of the opposite sex. You want to let your guard down to enjoy married life, but you don't understand your mate's behavior. It's not like it was when you were dating. So, what happened? Well, you won't understand until you can let go of self protection, at least enough to look over the wall between you and see what's happening on the other side. Which brings us to the second reason your marriage isn't getting any better: a foundational misunderstanding of the opposite sex. You don't know what you don't know. Men and women are different, always have been, always will be. You know that, of course. That's what drew you together in the first place. The problem is when a man does something a woman doesn't understand, she just thinks he's wrong. When a woman does something a man doesn't understand, he gives up. Women have been led to believe that men are shallow and dumb, so they don't even consider that he has very good reasons for doing what he does. Unfortunately, he's never been required to state his reasons. He sees them as a given. How do I know this? Well, if you ask a man why he did something, he will usually say, "I don't know." I have a theory about why he says he doesn't know, but I'll have to save that for another day. On the other hand, men have been led to believe that women are crazy and overreactive. Most often, a man doesn't even bother to try to understand a woman. And if she tries to explain it, he goes into a tailspin. He can't keep up, so it's better if he doesn't go there at all. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. You can overcome these two obstacles, that is, self protection and a lack of understanding, and start to improve your marriage. First, an experienced coach can help you recognize your tendency to self protect and help you evaluate whether or not you really do need to continue protecting yourself. You need protection when you're dealing with abandonment, abuse, addiction, or adultery. Depending on your need, you might want to work with a licensed mental health professional, such as a psychologist. An experienced coach can help you figure out the kind of help that's best for you. Second, an experienced coach can help you understand and appreciate your gender differences. That is, if she understands and appreciates them herself. Unfortunately, most people in the helping professions don't. And that includes pastors, professors, mental health professionals, pretty much everybody. Instead, the differences between men and women are often ignored, devalued, or joked about. Not on my watch. The knowledge is available, biblically sound, and research-based. That's why I'm so passionate about helping Christian couples and single adults discover effective ways to apply their biblical values and the findings of scientific research to everyday life. If you need help with any of this, let's talk. That's why I'm here.